The secret behind Apple marketing strategy with Canon. Ever wonder what it is exactly about Apple that people just can't seem to get enough of all of their product lines? It isn't just about like the packaging or the look or the microchips. What really sent Apple shooting straight into the top is actually something you can start doing for your brand right now. Today we're answering the question on every entrepreneur's mind: what's the secret behind Apple's marketing strategy? Apple is a brand that has captured the love and attention of the entire world because Apple knows that the secret for becoming an inspiration comes down to just two words: brand loyalty. You see, no matter what business you're in, brand loyalty is your business plan. Brand loyalty is the key to generating the #1 most effective marketing known to mankind: word of mouth advertising. Just think back into your life. You're far more likely to buy something if your friend told you about it, right? But did you know that word of mouth advertising is 50 times more effective than any other type of advertising? A study by the Wharton School of Business recently reported that word-of-mouth customers bring in 16 to 25% more value to your brand over a lifetime than a customer gained through any other type of advertising. Some agencies call it the word-of-mouth game and spend millions of marketing dollars trying to figure out how to win that game. What Apple knows, and what any top brand knows, who's an inspiration to truly millions and millions of people, can tell you that is that word-of-mouth advertising is simply the result of brand loyalty. Brand loyalty is the really big win. So for today's episode, I'm going to give you the 4 secrets for securing brand loyalty so your brand can come out of nowhere and take its rightful place amongst the rockstar brands of our era that who have become an inspiration to millions and are helping millions around our planet. First, let's take a closer look at Apple. Steve Jobs once said, "People with passion can change the world." His vision of one computer, one person began the Apple empire. And today, his tagline for the brand, "Think Different," is carried throughout the way that Apple continues to imagine and reimagine how their products can change lives for the better. When Steve Jobs invented the first computer in his parents' garage, he wasn't trying to change the world. He just wanted his own computer. But it's his own personal passion for making that technology accessible to the world and his enthusiasm for finding new ways to elevate that experience again and again and again. That's what drives Apple's brand loyalty. For a brief time in the 90s, Jobs stepped away from Apple because he wanted to invest in a digital effects company called Pixar. Maybe you've heard of it. Not everyone knows this, but it was Steve Jobs who led the company to making the first ever full-length digital animation film that is now the much-loved Toy Story. What's so important to observe in terms of understanding brand loyalty is that when Jobs stepped away from the Apple brand to extend his passion and enthusiasm for providing new technological experiences to an entirely different brand, Apple sort of fell off the map. During that time when Steve Jobs was estranged from Apple, the Apple brand almost disappeared into oblivion. In the late 90s, when someone said Apple computer, people were still picturing that old first model with its giant keyboard and floppy disks, and blink, nobody cared. The blink test is something that occurs during that crucial 2 to 3 seconds when a person encounters your brand for the first time and decides in an instant whether to dive in or delete. In today's fast-paced digital marketplace, it is estimated that about 99% of ads get deleted. And yes, at one time, even the now indomitable Apple was failing the blink test hard. When Jobs returned to Apple in 1997, the tagline became "Think Different." And everything about the Apple brand followed suit with that "Think Different." And blink, everyone's attitude quickly changed. But it is Steve Jobs himself who is the embodiment of thinking differently. Today, Apple has people talking, lining up around the block, and creating word-of-mouth advertising, trillions of dollars at no cost to them, trillions of dollars worth of advertising that costs Apple nothing, $0. Doesn't that sound nice? When seeking to create this kind of brand loyalty for our brands, the question we should be asking as the CEOs and founders of our own great discoveries is, does the world love Apple? Or is the passion and enthusiasm of Steve Jobs himself that is infused to this day into the Apple culture that the world finds so irresistible? So now with that question in mind, let's jump right into the 4 secrets for securing brand loyalty. They are: radiate enthusiasm, relentless clarity of vision, radical listening, and repeatedly raise their expectations. So first we have radiate enthusiasm. And if, while I was talking about the success of Steve Jobs, you caught yourself thinking, well, I'm not Steve Jobs, then listen up. Winning Apple-level brand loyalty is not about being Steve Jobs, and thank goodness, because he's like one of those off-the-charts, once-in-a-lifetime genius types, right? We know this. No, it's about being so passionate and so enthusiastic about finding new ways for your brand to make people's lives better that your brand culture becomes synonymous with passion, enthusiasm, and living a better life. Enthusiasm is catchy and it spreads like wildfire. Your brand culture is going to follow your example, your emotional example. It won't be your words, but your attitudes, your energy that will have that final say in how your brand is perceived by the world. Ground yourself in a passion that brings your community a product or service that is going to improve their lives. And then radiate enthusiasm for bringing that greater future to everyone who encounters your brand. People with passion can change the world. When you infuse your brand culture with enthusiasm for making people's lives better, you create a customer-focused culture of people who are empowered with a higher purpose than just creating revenue for your brand. A brand culture of people who are passionate about adding value to the lives of others and who are proud to be affiliated with your brand is not only the perfect recipe for creating brand loyalty by the millions, it's the very essence of the word of mouth advertising. Next, we have relentless clarity of vision. Apple is nothing if not consistent with their motto being, it just works. The products have never swayed from their sleek and simple aesthetic and their user-friendly technology, and that style is reflected not just with their products, but also consistent with the way Apple stores are designed and even the way Apple products are displayed in other stores. Whether you're upgrading your iPhone, trying out your first iPad, or opening your new MacBook, even just the experience of unwrapping your new device has an electric energy of elevating your lifestyle. And even though it's new and exciting, it's still familiar enough that you know how to use it. That is the magic of having a relentless clarity of vision for your brand. You create a new excitement around a familiar and comforting experience again and again and again. It's like coming home after a long journey. You're so excited to get to that familiar feeling of being right where you belong. A relentless clarity of vision creates consistency, and consistency builds trust. As human beings, when we begin to trust, we begin to love, and brand loyalty is all about the love. Which brings us to the third secret, which is radical listening. No matter what business you're in, brand loyalty is your business plan, and every pretty penny your company earns is directly correlated with how well your brand listens. The brand that listens the best is the brand that wins. Brand loyalty. It really is as simple as that. People love to feel heard. When we feel heard, we feel known, we feel seen, we feel loved, we feel appreciated, we feel valued, we feel like we have a valuable place in the world, we feel important, we feel like the brand knows us, it gets us. The brand starts to feel like home. And home is where we return to again and again and again. If that's not brand loyalty, what is? Many people think listening is more like catching enough of what's being said to know how you want to respond. Brands who listen in this half-hearted manner are basically leaving money on the table when it comes to the bottom line of things. Everything your community has to say, the good, the bad, and even what is completely unrelated to your brand, is information you can spin into gold. Your customers are constantly telling you who they are, who they dream of becoming, what they're afraid of, and what changes they wish to see in the world. It's all gold because it can all be used to fortify your brand's values and ethics, to align with your customers on an emotional and meaningful level that makes them feel like your brand really cares and is 100% necessary to win brand loyalty. Finally, we have repeatedly raise their expectations. You're going to love this one. No one does this better than Apple. As new products continually offer new features to bring customers more convenience, more efficiency, more joy, more fun each new year, the promise of a greater future is the most significant offer any brand can make. And a brand that wins brand loyalty not only delivers good on that promise, but also strives to continue to find new little ways to make that greater future better and better and better. This kind of dedication to excellence is only possible through the passion and enthusiasm. Becoming an inspiration to millions is truly a labor of love. Connect with your customers, change their lives for the better, and then keep finding new fun ways to do it again and again. If you can do that, you won't be able to stop them from wanting to be a part of bringing the goodness of your brand into the lives of anyone who will listen. This is brand loyalty in action, and results of that action is priceless. Word of mouth advertising. Do you embody the essence of your brand? If you'd like to learn more about how you can more powerfully lead through example of your brand's values and ethics, let me know in the comments below by typing #GreaterFuture, and I'll make an episode just for you. Your passion, your enthusiasm, and your determination to create a greater future for your brand community. These are the seeds of inspiration that take root deep into the hearts of your customers, just as they took root deep into the heart of Apple. Now that you have the 4 secrets, radiate enthusiasm, relentless clarity of vision, radical listening, and repeated raising of expectations. Go through each of them and brainstorm on ways your brand can elevate its strategy for securing brand loyalty within each of the 4 secrets. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this episode, please let me know by hitting that subscribe button, and also be sure to click the bell so you don't miss out on new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. Treat this as your masterclass in becoming an inspiration to millions with branding. And as always, the way to become an inspiration to millions starts with our mantra: love what you do and love how you do it. Thanks for watching. Don't miss out on a single thing. Subscribe below. And here's something else I think you'll love.